I want you to picture something for a second. Imagine you are standing on a sidewalk, maybe near a local park or like a school.
Okay.
You look up and you see a compact car.
Whoa.
But this car isn't driving normally. It is accelerating, just barreling straight towards you, right through the school zone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, hitting speeds of up to 35 miles per hour. Now, strip away the metal, the tires, the engine, replace all of that with thick fur horns and pure concentrated muscle.
That is a terrifying image.
Right, but that high-stakes visual, that is exactly what we are unpacking today. Welcome to the deep dive.
Glad to be here.
We're heading straight into the heart of the North American plains for this one. We're drawing from a really fascinating piece of research today called the American Bison, Titan of the Grasslands.
Yeah, that's a great source.
And our mission today is to explore how this iconic creature completely masters one of the most unforgiving environments on Earth. We are talking about this surprising mix of massive scale, hyper-vigilance, and, well, as that little visualization I just gave you suggests, some truly deceptive athleticism.
It really is a completely different picture than the romanticized myth we all have of the slow, gentle giant grazing peacefully on the prairie.
Oh, absolutely.
When you strip away that folklore, what you're left with is basically a masterclass in ungulate biomechanics and survival strategy. We are looking at the raw biological reality of how the largest land animal in North America actually operates day to day.
Yeah.
It's a creature as heavy as a small car, yet capable of easily outrunning a human being. And the mechanisms behind how it achieves that are, well, they're far more complex than most people realize.
Okay, let's unpack this, because really wrap your head around how terrifying a 35-mile-per-hour compact car made of muscle truly is.
Yeah.
We first have to understand the sheer scale of the bison.
Right.
We're talking about an animal where an adult weighs anywhere from 900 to 2,000 pounds. That is up to 900 kilograms of pure bulk.
It's massive.
But here is the thing that completely baffles me. You look at a 2,000-pound animal, and you naturally assume it must be eating something, I don't know, incredibly dense and high energy to maintain that kind of mass.
Sure.
Yet they are completely herbivorous. They survive entirely on a diet of grass, shrub leaves, and wild prairie plants.
Just grazing all day.
Exactly. I have to push back on the basic math of this. How do you build a 2,000-pound biological tank out of a salad?
It sounds impossible.
It's like trying to fuel a massive, heavy-duty semi-truck using only individual blades of grass.
Yeah.
The energy return just doesn't seem to add up.
Well, what's fascinating here is that it doesn't add up if you look at it through the lens of human digestion.
Oh, okay.
Right? Like if we tried to eat grass, we'd starve.
Yeah.
Because the energy in grass is locked away in cellulose, which is incredibly difficult to break down.
Right.
So to solve this thermodynamic problem, the bison relies on rumination. They aren't just eating a meal, they are managing a whole internal ecosystem.
Right, the four-chambered stomach concept.
Yes, but the scale of it is what's truly mind-boggling. The first chamber, the rumen, is essentially a massive biological fermentation vat inside the bison's gut.
A fermentation vat.
Yeah, and it can hold upwards of 40 to 50 gallons of chewed plant matter.
Wait, 50 gallons?
50 gallons. And inside that vat is a highly specialized microbiome. We're talking billions of bacteria, protozoa, fungi.
Yeah.
So when a bison swallows grass, it's not actually feeding itself, it is feeding that bacterial colony.
Oh, I see.
The microbes break down the tough cellulose and produce volatile fatty acids as a byproduct. And those fatty acids are what actually fuel the bison.
Wait, so the bison is basically just a walking 2,000-pound life support system for a colony of bacteria.
Pretty much, yeah.
And in exchange, the bacteria pay rent in the form of energy.
That is an incredibly accurate way to look at it. But because the energy density of grass is just so low to begin with, this process requires astronomical volume.
I can imagine.
They can't just eat 3 square meals. They spend the vast majority of their day, up to 9 to 12 hours, doing nothing but grazing, chewing, regurgitating their food as cut, and then chewing it again.
Just constantly eating.
Just to physically grind the plant fibers down enough for the bacteria to actually do their work. It is a slow, continuous, exhausting process of energy conversion.
So they're tethered to the ground, basically. They have to keep that biological engine running all day just to sustain that massive frame.
Right.
But that constant need to eat brings up a huge vulnerability, doesn't it? You have to spend 12 hours a day outdoors grazing. You don't have the luxury of hiding in a cave when the weather turns bad.
No, not at all.
You are completely exposed to the elements year-round.
And the environments they inhabit are notoriously unforgiving. The open grasslands and prairies of America and Canada, they're characterized by brutal extremes.
Yeah.
You have wide open plains where the wind whips across with absolutely zero barriers to slow it down, and winter temperatures that plunge well below freezing for months on end.
Which leads to a detail about their thermoregulation that I find fascinating. Here's where it gets really interesting. Obviously, a massive mammal needs water, right?
Naturally, yeah.
But when the plains freeze solid and the lakes ice over, bison don't pack up and migrate hundreds of miles looking for liquid stream. They just eat snow to fulfill their hydration needs.
Yep, they just eat the snow.
Now, on paper, that sounds like a neat survival trick. But think about the reality of it. If I'm stranded in the wilderness in winter and I eat a handful of snow, I don't feel hydrated.
No, you feel terrible.
Right. I get a brain freeze, my core temperature plummets, and I basically invite hypothermia. My body has to burn precious calories just to melt the snow internally.
Exactly.
So I'm sitting here wondering how a 2,000-pound animal can ingest gallons of frozen water without freezing itself from the inside out.
The human comparison is totally valid. I mean, eating snow is actually really dangerous for us in a survival scenario for that exact reason. But remember that 40-gallon fermentation vat we just talked about?
A rumen, yeah.
Right. Bacterial fermentation generates heat, a lot of heat.
Oh, wow.
The bison's digestive tract is literally an internal furnace operating at peak capacity 204/7.
That is wild.
So when they ingest snow, they aren't depleting their core temperature in the same way we would because they have this massive, continuously burning biological heater radiating from their center.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. The very thing that allows them to eat grass is also the thing heating their internal plumbing so they can drink snow.
It's an elegant evolutionary loop.
Yeah.
And they combine that internal furnace with external insulation.
Their fur.
Exactly. A bison's winter coat is so incredibly thick and efficient at trapping heat that snow can fall on a bison's back and simply accumulate without melting.
No way.
Yeah, none of their body heat is escaping to melt the snow on their skin. This combined system of thermoregulation means the frozen environment just isn't a barrier to them. They actively use the frozen plains as a resource, chewing right through the winter.
It paints this picture of a creature that is completely unfazed by the world, like a massive, snow-eating, internal furnace-powered behemoth that nothing can touch.
Right.
You start to build up this image of an invincible tank. But survival on the open prairies isn't just about weathering the brutal cold, is it?
No, it's not.
It is about staying alive while standing completely exposed in an environment shared by predators. And this is where their behavioral psychology completely shifts the narrative.
Yeah, it's one of the most revealing aspects of their biology, because they don't act like invincible tanks.
Not at all. I mean, look at their sleep patterns. You would think 2,000 pounds of muscle would earn you a deep, luxurious 8-hour sleep. Who's gonna mess with a sleeping boulder?
You'd think so.
But they sleep lying down on the ground, and they only take short, tiny naps, micro sleeps.
Very short.
They stay incredibly close to their herd for mutual protection, and they're described as being in this state of hyper-alertness, with highly tuned memories for recognizing danger.
Yeah.
Honestly, it sounds miserable. It sounds exactly like being a highly anxious traveler sleeping at a busy airport terminal.
That is a great comparison.
You know the exact feeling. You're clutching your luggage, taking 10-minute power naps, keeping one eye slightly open, completely convinced someone is going to snatch your bags the second you let your guard down.
The airport analogy captures the underlying tension perfectly. There is a beautiful contradiction here. I mean, they are the largest land mammal in the country, yet they operate with the nervous system of a prey animal.
Wow, yeah.
Size on the open plains doesn't guarantee safety, especially not historically when they shared that landscape with massive pack hunters.
Right.
So they don't trust their individual bulk to save them. They rely on synchronized vigilance.
Synchronized vigilance. So the herd acts like a giant collective radar system.
Exactly that. By sleeping in tiny increments, the herd ensures that at any given moment, dozens of eyes and ears are actively monitoring the horizon.
Oh, that's smart.
And their eyes are positioned on the sides of their massive heads, which gives them excellent peripheral vision. They are constantly scanning.
Always on edge.
It's a survival strategy fundamentally rooted in a kind of collective paranoia. They remember where wolf packs hunt, they remember which valleys flood, and they remember what danger smells like.
It really changes how you look at them. They aren't these relaxed, wandering cows contentedly chewing the cud. They are more like military operatives operating on constant, high-alert status.
That's a good way to put it.
And this hyper-alert state, combined with that 2,000-pound muscular frame we've been talking about, well, that brings us to the ultimate danger they pose. This is the exact reason why humans constantly get themselves into terrible trouble with bison in national parks.
The statistics on human encounters are always sobering, because despite their immense weight and their bulky appearance, a bison can reach top speeds of 35 miles per hour.
That is terrifying.
That's 56 kilometers per hour.
That speed just defies logic. I mean, how does a top-heavy animal the size of a car move that fast?
Well, this raises an important question about their anatomy. It comes down to ungulate biomechanics, specifically the design of their front quarters.
Okay.
When you look at a bison, you immediately notice the massive hump on its back. A lot of people mistakenly assume that's just a storage depot for fat, similar to a camel.
That's what I always thought.
Right, but it's actually a colossal anchor point for muscle. Those elongated vertebrae in the hump support immense neck and shoulder muscles.
So it's essentially a front-wheel drive animal.
Precisely. All that musculature is designed to plow their massive heads through deep winter snow to find grass.
Oh, wow.
But when they are threatened, that same front-loaded power allows them to pivot incredibly fast and launch themselves forward. They don't lumber, they explode.
They explode.
Which is why the universal warning from the source material is always, if you see a bison in the wild, you must stay far, far away from it.
But people don't. Because our human biases completely betray us.
They really do.
We are hardwired to assume that heavy means slow and sluggish. We see a 2,000-pound animal standing in a grassy field, chewing slowly, and it looks completely peaceful.
Very serene.
Right. It registers in our brains as a slow-moving, placid landscape feature. We don't look at it and see a high-speed projectile waiting to go off.
And that misjudgment is exactly where the danger lies. We fail to recognize the tension. We see a gentle giant. But as we've established, inside that peaceful-looking exterior is a creature with a hyper-alert nervous system.
Yeah.
It sleeps in 10-minute bursts because it's perpetually anticipating an attack. So when a human wanders off the trail, trying to get just a little closer for a picture...
The bison doesn't see a curious tourist with a camera.
No, it sees an unpredictable predator breaching its safety perimeter.
And it reacts, not with a warning tap, but with thousands of pounds of kinetic energy.
Instantly. When a creature that operates on a hair trigger of herd paranoia decides you are a threat, the peaceful boulder accelerates to 35 miles per hour.
Unbelievable.
And the mechanical power required to move a 2,000-pound mass at that speed means there is no stopping it once it commits to the charge. It is pure, unstoppable momentum.
It is the compact car in the school zone. You cannot outrun it, you cannot stop it, and you certainly do not want to be in its path.
Absolutely not.
It really ties this entire biological profile into a cohesive, terrifyingly impressive picture. Let's summarize what we've actually pieced together today. We started with an animal that seems almost impossible, a 2,000-pound titan that builds its immense musculature out of nothing but low-calorie grass, effectively operating as a massive walking fermentation vat.
A biological heater so efficient that it can ingest raw winter snow for hydration without lowering its core temperature.
Yes.
Entirely insulated by a coat that won't even let the snow melt on its back.
Right, and yet a creature so acutely aware of its own vulnerability on the open plains that it refuses to sleep deeply. It relies instead on a highly strung, tightly knit herd mentality and a collective paranoia to stay alive.
It really is.
It is a masterpiece of evolutionary engineering, a massive, snow-eating, power-napping powerhouse that is infinitely faster than it appears to be. For you listening right now, I think the absolute biggest takeaway here is a powerful reminder to never judge a book by its cover. Massive does not mean slow, and peaceful grazing absolutely does not mean unaware. The natural world is incredibly deceptive, and the American bison is the ultimate proof of that.
It demands an immense amount of respect. The rules of engagement out on the plains are written by the harsh realities of the environment, not by our human perceptions.
Well said.
The bison has spent thousands of years perfectly engineering itself for survival. It is a brilliant, precarious balance of overwhelming physical power and delicate, constant awareness.
It leaves you with a really lingering thought, doesn't it? Based purely on the mechanics we've walked through today. I want you to mull over this final question.
Yeah.
If the absolute largest land animal in North America, a creature weighing up to 2,000 pounds, built like a biological tank, and capable of accelerating to a lethal 35 miles per hour, if this animal has evolved to be so perpetually alert that it only dares to take tiny microbursts of sleep while clustered tightly together with its herd, what kind of immense, terrifying historical predators must they have faced out there on those open grasslands to warrant such extreme, hardwired paranoia? Think about that the next time you picture that compact car accelerating toward you. Until next time, keep digging into the deep dives.